Hello, everyone. I'm Christopher Barclay, the Executive Director of Arts on the Block. You're watching ALB's 2022 Year in Review. Since 2003, ALB's mission has been to empower creative youth to imagine and shape fulfilling futures, join the creative workforce, and contribute to the quality of life in our communities. ALB achieves its mission by providing real-world experiences in the arts and entrepreneurial training geared towards opening new pathways to learning and achievement. A nonprofit social enterprise with a 20-year history in the DC region, ALB is the longest-running hands-on art apprenticeship program offering youth and young adults the opportunity to learn about art, design, and business by engaging them in paid public art commissions. I will pass this video on to some of our current and former staff members and program participants so that you can hear their reflections on the past year.
Designed that piece, and then what was also really just extra exciting about it was that I designed it through the experience of seeing the growth of AOB and wanting to represent what we can do, and like to be able to design something in theory when we didn't have that space yet, but we knew something about how it would go and we knew what we wanted to represent. And then the space was like built from the ground up, and then it was there, and then we built the mosaic from the ground up and put it in the space. So I think it was a really, really cool experience, and I feel like very grateful to have like such a physical piece of me left in that space. And then also just as a teaching artist, it's really cool to think of teaching artists at AOB now using it as a tool, because another part of the purpose was that it includes so many different aspects of how we do mosaics.
So one of the highlights of working with AOB was having my design chosen to be installed in the Black Hill neighborhood as a part of the Learner Commission. Outside of having that work chosen, like I was very, very, very proud of the designs that I had created for that. So to not only have them chosen by this company to be installed, like it just meant a lot to me as well to know that these pieces exist out in the world for people to see.
So Moco Reconnect, what I thought of for like the design, I don't know, because like I kind of fell off graffiti for a while, and then they brought it up, so I was like, hey, let me see what I could do. It's a dope feeling, honestly, because I wasn't expecting them to pick my design, because everyone knows how it goes, either it's going to get picked or not. So for them to hang it up, it's a pretty cool experience.
Moco Reconnect was the one client I think that we had the most like back and forth on when it came to like the design process. We would design something and then they would say, hey, could you do this, this, and this? And then we'd like change that, and it's just a lot of that.
This is like my first personal art piece that I've ever done for a public space. And I'm so glad it was for a foundation like Moco Reconnect, who really, really wants to care about the well-being of both LGBTQ people and people who are in bad housing situations and need jobs. So shout out to them.
The main inspiration for my design was the pirate theme. I centered everything along the pirate theme because I felt that it was the perfect youthful rebelliousness where it's still parent approved and not too rowdy. And that's where everything came along. The flowiness of the water, the gold, the gems, the pirate ship itself. I felt like the young people would love the pirate theme, but also the older people would still feel like its rebelliousness, and parents won't be too mad about something that's still kind of child-friendly.
So I guess that's what's most satisfying is like, you know, when someone's trying to tell you what they're thinking and you're figuring it out for them and you show them and they're like, yes, that's what I'm thinking. That's, I think, the coolest part. And then to be able to do that like with the collaboration of like other AOB members and crew members makes it even more fun and like kind of opens up to new ideas.
Temple Emmanuel on the floor. It was a huge custom shaped piece, but we didn't have that room now we had to crawl on the floor to reach a tree or the space, the planets.
My main inspiration for the tabletop design was actually the work of Jack Whitten. He's an artist that Spence introduced to us during the first Zoom meeting, I believe. So kind of mimicking that texture and really small details that Jack has in his work. It felt really nice. I was upset that I couldn't be a part of it, but when I got to the studio, I'm glad I got to finish at least a little bit of it before it was glued down and everything.
So the inspiration for the Artist Circle Fine Arts pieces were as a result of the Gaithersburg logo, actually. It was another take on the community, thus taking inspiration from the quote, "Birds of a feather flock together." And I figured the best bird to represent that would be Maryland state bird, which is the Baltimore Oriole, which also provided a beautiful pop of color to the location that it was in. And as a result, we came across like this circle of life representation to show that you could take root and also branch out from this community.
Thank you for watching our 2022 Year in Review video. Please check out our digital Year in Review in the link below. Many thanks to our board of directors, funders, donors, and volunteers. A special acknowledgement goes to Adobe for the editing software used to make this film and digital document. Thanks to our staff and studio crew for producing and editing this video and the digital Year in Review. A special thanks to studio crew member Khalil Hunter for his editing and use of his original music. You can find a link to his SoundCloud account below. Lastly, many thanks to all those current and former staff and constituents who shared their reflections. Stay tuned for events and other projects as AOB celebrates its 20th year. What a remarkable milestone. Thank you.